Hey folks, welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about Python while loop. So Python while loop is used to iterate, to continuously execute a block of code until a certain condition is met. So unlike for loop, so we don't know the exact number of iterations for the while loop. So if the condition is false, then it will stop execution. If the condition is true, it will keep on executing the while loop block. So this is the syntax for it. So here we can see the simple syntax. While is a keyword and then followed by condition. The condition should return a Boolean value, whether true or false, and then colon. So after that we have an indentation followed by a block of code. So let's look at the simple example to print the numbers 1 to 10. So let me copy this and execute it in the playground. I just copied it and go to playground and paste it and save it. So here we can see that uh, so we define the number variable 1 and the value of number is 1, and then we have a while loop. So this is the condition, number is less than or equals to 10. So if it is true, then it will execute the while block, that is line number 3 and 4, printing the number and number equals to number plus 1. So let me execute the code first. Python while loop playground. So here we can clearly see that we printed 1 to 10 numbers. So at line number 4, we are increasing the number by 1 in order to make the condition false. So if the condition is not false, then it will iterate forever. So let me comment out the line number 4 and we can see, so it will iterate forever. So here we can clearly see that it is printing 1 for infinite number of times until we stop the execution using keyboard interrupt. So that's how while loop works. So first we need to have an initializer and then the condition. So we need to update the condition in order to stop the while loop. Otherwise we can use a break statement to stop it. So that is basic example of while loop. Let's look at iteration of iteration using while loop. So here we have a simple code, so we can iterate over all iterable elements using indexes and keys. So for dictionaries, we should use keys. Okay, let's go to playground. Let me copy this and paste it here. So yeah, looks like syntax is incorrect here. I wrote JavaScript code instead of Python code. So here we can see let's look at the code. So here we can see that at line number 1 we define the list of names, and in line number 2 we define the variable index set to 0. That's because list supports indexing, and we will be accessing the list values through indexes. So here it should be index, and we need to have index equals to index plus 1. So it is same as the previous example, but here we are just printing the accessing the list element and printing it here. So here we have the index. So index value is less than um, length of names, then it will execute this block of code. Otherwise it will stop executing. So this way we can access the names of index. So we will get the element of a list through index. So let's look at that. Let me clear this out first. So here we can see that we got the values Anji, John, Ahmad from the list names. So that's how we iterate the in list. So if we want to iterate any other like what we call dictionary, so let me just update this to d equals to let me use ng to 1, John to 2, and let me copy this to 3. So now we have the key here. Let me assign key equals to, and then print d of key. So we will get the values of dictionary now. So we can see that 1, 2, 3. So we have a for key Anji, we have 1, and the value is 1. So let me print key as well. So if we see, so we got keys and values from the dict. So for this case, for the iterating dictionaries, ideally we should go for a for loop. I just showed you the example to access the values as well using while loop. So, but in most of the cases, we should go for loop. Okay, let's look at the break statement. Let me copy this. So we use break statement to um, stop the execution of the loop. So here we have the while loop, while true. So this is a infinite loop. So it keeps on iterating until we stop the for loop. Sorry, while loop. So here we can see that we have the code. So while true, it will be always true, and we are taking the user's input here. So this is a mathematical expression. So we ask user to enter the mathematical expression, and after that, if user gives the input as stop, then we will break the loop. Otherwise, we will print the output by evaluating the simple mathematical expression. So let me run that Python while loop playground. So it is asking for expression. So let me enter 1 plus 5. So we should get the value as 6, and 5 into 20. So we should get 100, and 4 divided by 3, so we should get 1.3333, something like that. And if we enter stop, so it will stop the loop execution. So that's because in line number 3 we have the expression. We are checking that to we are using the if condition to check whether the given input is stop or not. So in this case it is stop, so we are using the break statement to stop the execution of the loop, so it won't execute any further while loop block. So that's how break statement works. And let's look at the continue statement. So when we use the continue statement, it skips the iteration of the loop. So let's say we have even numbers and odd numbers in a list. So if we want to print only even numbers, and then we should skip printing the odd numbers, something like that. So in that case, we can use continue statement to skip the iteration. So let's look at the simple example for that. So here we have the numbers defined from 1 to 10. So let me update this to list. So numbers 1 to 10, and we have the defined index, and when length of numbers is less than index, and then we are just accessing the numbers of index. And after that, we are checking if the number is uh, divisible by 2, then we are skipping printing that number. So for this case, we are printing all odd numbers. So here we can see that the condition and continue statement. So if the condition is true, we are executing the continue statement. So once the condition continue statement gets executed, so the whatever the code below it after the continue statement, that gets skipped. So let's look at that. Let me run it. So we got 13579. So before that, let me print the numbers. So if we see that we have 1 to 10 numbers in the numbers list, but in the output we got 13579, and we skipped 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's because we use the continue statement here. So it just skipped the print statement at line number 9. So that's how the continue statement works. So break statement completely stops the while loop execution, but continue statement, it just skips the current iteration and executes the next iteration. So that's how continue statement works. So and we have else statement. So else statement gets executed when the while loop condition is false. So let's look at the simple example for that. So in this code, what we are doing, so we are just iterating the number 3 times. So we are just printing the index. So it will print 0, 1, 2. That's because we are here we have the condition index is less than 3. Then we are printing the index and we are increasing the index by 1. So if the condition is failed, let's say index value is 3 and then this condition fails, so the while loop block of code won't get executed and it will pass to else condition. So then this block of code gets executed. Let's look at that. Okay, looks like we have syntax error. So yeah, here we can see that we have 0, 1 and 2. Here that's because we have a print statement here inside while loop, and once the index is 3, so this condition is failed. That's because 3 is less than 3, that is a false. So it passed to else statement and then the else block executed. So that's why we got else and then followed by index equals to 3. So that's how we use else with while loop. And we can have a nested while loop, so we can execute the we can write the while loop inside another while loop. So for that, I just wrote the code to print the tables. Let's look at that. Let me copy the code. First let's execute. So here we can see that we got table 1 and then table 2 and then table 3. So let's look at the code. So this base equals to 1 is the number that whatever the table that we want to print, and then we have the while loop. So while is base is less than or equals to 3, so we want only 3 numbers, that is 1, 2, 3 tables. So that's why we are doing base is less than or equals to 3. And we have the multiply variable, so we assigned multiply value to 1, and then inside that we have one more while loop in order to print this what is that, yeah, in order to print this line. So in order to get value for all these 5, we define the outer while loop, and inner while loop prints this statement. So that is this, and once we execute it, so first base value is 1 and then 1 is less than or equals to 3 in first iteration. Let's look at that here. So base equals to 1 first iteration, and then it went to while loop block. So there we have multiply equals to 1, and multiply 1 is less than or equals to 5, so that is true. And then we went to line number 5, so it did print the a print statement, that is 1 into 1. We did print the base first, and then this star. After that we have multiply value is also 1, and then equals to sign. After that we printed the base into multiply, that is 1 into 1, that is equals to 1. So this is the iteration 1, I1. And then for the second case, and after that we are increasing the multiply value to by 1. So now the multiply value equals to 1 plus 1, that is 2. So the first iteration is completed. For the next iteration, so we are printing this output to the console, so that's why we will be having this as the first execution in first iteration. So after that, for the second iteration of inner while loop, so we will still have the um, base value as 1. That's because we didn't update the base value yet. So here we are updating it, but this block of code didn't get finished. So for the second iteration, So this values gets updated. So now the base value is 1 because we didn't update it, but multiply value gets updated. That's because we updated inside the inner loop. So this value gets updated to 2, and then so in order to get this, first we need to have the base value. So base value is 1, and then we have the star. After that we have the multiply. So now the multiply value is 2. So we need to update this to 2, and after that we have a equal sign, and after that we have the multiplication of base and multiply. So the base value is 1 and multiply value is 2. So 1 into 2, that is equals to 2. So this value gets updated. So this, we get this as a output. So that is this. After that we are updating the multiply by 1. So multiply equals to multiply plus 1, that is current multiply value is 2, and then plus 1, that is equals to 3. So for the next iteration we get the same while loop gets repeated, and the values gets updated, and we get these values, that is uh, 1 into 3 and 1 into 4 and 1 into 5. So we get all these values, and after that, so this while loop execution gets um, failed. That's because multiply value updated to 6. So 6 is less than or equals to 5, that is false. So this gets stopped, and after that the base value gets updated to base equals to base plus 1, that is 1 equals to 1 plus 1, base equals to 1 plus 1, that is 2. So that gets updated, and after that we printed the new line. So here we can see that we got a new line here. And for the next we have the base, that is where base value is 2. 2 is less than or equals to 3, that is true, and again this gets continued, the inner loop gets executed, and the same thing repeats, and we will get the um, table for 2, and after that we get table for 3. So after the base value is greater than 3, that is 4. 4 is less than or equals to 3, so that gets stopped, and this while loop gets stopped, and so it is inside the block of outer while loop, so this is also gets stopped. So that's how we get the tables 1, 2 and 3. So this is how we use the inner sorry nested loops. And let's look at some simple problems here. So guess the number. Let's look at this. So user has to guess the number, and if the number is matches with the computer generated number, then we need to stop the execution of the loop. Otherwise we will keep on asking the user for the input. So let's look at that. So first we need to have a infinite while loop. So while true, so we need to ask users input. Guess equals to int of input number. So we are type converting number because the whatever the input that we get from the user, that is in string format, so we are converting that to integer. So now we have the guess number, and we need to generate the random number. So in order to generate the random number, we need to import the random module from Python. Import random. So now we need to generate the random number. So let's call it as rnum. Random number equals to random dot randint. So we need to specify the range between whether 1 to 10 or 1 to 20, something like that. So for this case, just go for 1 to 5, and now we have the random number as well. So we need to compare these two numbers. If guess equals to our number, then we need to print you have guessed, and we need to stop the execution of the loop break. So otherwise we need to tell user to try your luck again. So let's print Incorrect guess. The number is our number. Let's use the F notation for this. Try again. So our random number program is completed. Let's execute it. Before that, let me clear this out. And Python while loop playground. So it's asking for the number. Let me enter 1. So my guess is incorrect. The number, the generated number is 5. So it is asking me to try again. So let me go for 3 now. So you guessed it. So my guess is right. So that's why it stopped. That's because we used a break statement here. So it stops the execution of the loop. So let me try it again. So let me enter 2 this time, incorrect. And let me enter 1 this time, incorrect. Let me enter 2 this time, incorrect. Let me enter 2 this time, incorrect. 2 again, 2 again. So I guessed it right. So it will keep on asking something like this. So that is how we solve the guess the number problem. And we have the factorial of a given number. So before start solving that problem, so we need to understand what is factorial. So factorial is nothing but, so we need to multiply all the numbers before that number. Let's say we have 5. So in order to get the factorial of 5, we need to multiply 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So if we multiply all these numbers, we get 5 into 4, 20, 20 into 3, 60, 60 into 2, 120, 120 into 1, 120. So we get 120. The output value is 120. So if we look at the line number 1, so number 5, 5 minus 1, and 4 minus 1, and 3 minus 1, and 2 minus 1. So that is the logic. So we need to multiply the numbers by iterating it. So first we need to get the user's input. Number equals to, we need to convert the given number string to integer. So that's why we are using int input and number. So now we have the number. So we have the number and we need to multiply that number and we need to store that result in a variable. So let me take the result value as 1 and iterate it. For number is greater than 0. Oh, oops. We need to go for a while loop, right? While number is greater than 0, then what we need to do, we need to update the result equals to result into number. Once we have that, now we need to decrease the number value. Number equals to number minus 1. And after all this execution, we need to print the result. Factorial yeah, let's try this out. So let's say we have 5. So result value is 1 and 5 is greater than 0, that is true. And then result equals to 1 into 5. So when we multiply, why we taken 1 here, because so if we multiply 1 with any number, so that gets the same number. So that's why we took result initial value as 1. So here we can see that result equals to result into the number. So the current value of number is 5 for the first iteration and the result value is 5 into 1, 5. For the next time, we are decreasing the number by 1. So the next we will get the 4 and 4 into sorry 5 into 4, that is 20. And for the next time we decrease the number and we will multiply it. So let's run it first. Let me clear this out first. Python while loop playground. Let me enter 5. So we got 120. Let me enter 6. We got 720. Let me enter 3. So we got 6. That's because 1 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. So this way we can find the factorial of a given number using while loop. Let's look at one more problem, sum of digits of a given number. So in order to do that, we need to do a little bit of math. So first we need to have a number. So now we have the number, and then while the number is greater than 0. So first we need to define the sum equals to 0. So we need to get the last digit of the number in order to sum it. So in order to get that, we need to divide the number by 10, and we need to get the remainder. So yeah, first we need to get the remainder, then we will get the last value, last digit of the number, and in order to get the next set of numbers, we need to divide it by 10. So let's do that. Digit equals to number percentile 10, so we get the remainder. Now we need to decrease the number. Oh, we need to divide the number by 10, then we get the next digits of the number. So number equals to number divided by 10. So this gets a float value. We need to convert that to a integer. So now we need to update the sum. Sum equals to sum oops, sum equals to sum plus digit. So now we have the sum and digit. So this, after doing this, let's say if we have 123 here, the sum value is 0. So once we do that, we get the remainder, that is 3. So after that, what we are updating the number by dividing it. So when we do number by 10, we get 12. So for the next, and we are updating the sum. So sum value gets 0 plus 3, that is 3. So for the next iteration, again we get the remainder for 12, that is 2, and we are adding that to the sum. So previous value is 3, current value is 2, so that gets 5. And for the next iteration, again we will update this 12 to 12 by 10, and then we get 1, something like that. So let me run it and see. Okay, what happened? Python playground.py. Oh, oops. That's the incorrect Python path. Python while loop playground. So it's asking for the number. Let me enter 1, 2, 3. So, oh, oops, we didn't print the number actually. So that's why we didn't get the result. Print sum, comma sum. Let's run it again. 1, 2, 3. So we got sum as 6. So if we enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we will get sum as 15. That's because 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15. So that's how we find the total number of, sum of digits of a given number. Let's solve one more problem, that is table of a number. We already did that in the previous examples. So check if a given number is prime or not. So in order to find whether the given number is prime or not, so we need to define the prime number first. So when we say a prime number is a prime number, then it should have only two numbers that will divide the number to 0. So let's say 2 is a prime number. So 2 will be divided with 1 and 2, the number itself. So we will have only two numbers that are divisible by that will divide the given number to 0. So that means the remainder is 0. So let's do that. Okay, we need the line number 1 here. So now we have the number. Let's divide the number by all the numbers till that number. Then we will get the actual count. How many numbers are dividing the number to number without number and getting the remainder as 0. So let's do that. First we need to have count. Let's define count as 0, and then while number is greater than 0, and we need to divide the given number by actual number. So 123, and we need to also have start number. Start equals to 1. Actually we need to have start here, and then number here. Start is less than or equals to number. So let's check the condition. If number is divided number percentile start equals to 0, then it means this gets the remainder. So if the remainder is 0, we need to increase the count. So count equals to count plus 1, and otherwise we just need to update the start value to 1, that is start equals to start plus 1. So now we will get the count. So if the count equals to 2, if the count value is 2, then we consider the number as a prime number, otherwise it is an odd prime. So let's print it's a prime number, otherwise we print it as not a prime number. So let's see how it works. So now we need to give the number. So we already know 2 is a prime number, so I'm just giving that. So it's a prime number. Let me give 3, we got prime number. Let me give 4, we got not a prime number. Let me give 5, it's a prime number. So let me give 49, that's not a prime number. Let me give 47, so it's a prime number. So the prime number is also working. We solve the prime number problem as well. So in order to solve the problem, first we need to understand the problem, and then based on that, whatever the concepts we have learned so far, so we need to use that concepts to solve the problem. So here, that is what we did here. So first we got the user's input, and then we find the logic, that is this, whether the number is divisible by the previous numbers. So we need to get the all previous numbers, that is 1 to that number. Let's say if we are checking for number 5, so we need to divide that number with all numbers till that number. So that is 1. Let's the current we have taken the number as 5, so we need to divide that with 1 2 3 4 5, all the numbers. So that's what we are checking here. So we define the start as 1, and we are iterating till the number start value is less than or equals to the given number. So that means we are dividing the number till that number. So that is, the value is 5, so we are dividing it till 5, so that is 1 2 3 4 5, and we are also counting the number, how many times the number divided I mean how many times the number remainder gets 0 when we divide that with the value, that is start. So if the count is 2, then we are considering it as a prime number, otherwise we are considering it as a not a prime number. So that's what we have the print statement here, and yeah, we solve that. Yeah, that's all about while loop. So if you find this video is useful, then please hit a like and share this video to other fellows. Thank you.